Check 1 2 check baby 1 2 check baby check. This is Pedro and Tom. We'll be with you shortly. Check baby 2. This is an audio check. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go.
Pass you a flask full of Jack Love at last. I'm at peace with this vast blood. Only took a crash, landing down in the trash mud to figure out why I've been so smashed up. Holy moly, lonely only when I'm coldly zoning, cozy in my holy home without my homie ceremonies, owning in my own, roaming through my dome, hoping that I'm only throwing stones to get you going. Maybe you could clone me, break the ache and make me hate the way forsaken snakes take their stake in what I make and break it. Maybe lay it on a plate, maybe shoot it out in space to watch it die. Either way, I ain't trying to lie.
The audio on. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the DYOR Media Network here on the DYOR Media Network. What do I do with my hands? Anyway, my name is Tom, otherwise known as Striking here in the digital media world. So glad to be hosting another episode of this great award-winning show. You're like, Tom, who gave you that award? Pedro and I gave ourselves that award. Why? Because someone has to win. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Just rationalize that in your head. Anyway, it is August 13th, 2025. Ethereum, it's pumping, it's moving and grooving. Is it going to more all-time highs? Is it going to push through it? What is the reason Ethereum still exists? Is it going to go because of FOMO, or is it going to go because of utility, or just a combination of both? We'll see about that. Pedro will give a good analysis of that later, and I'll be skeptical about it, but then I'll end up being right. So anyway, as always, the man in the box next to me is Mr. Pedro Garcia. We got a surprise for you today.
Really?
Yes, we do have a surprise, Pedro. And that's, sorry, it's taking me a little longer to get that surprise up and running. And that surprise would be...
What is going
What
on?
up? We're in the same room, ladies and gentlemen. First time since Blockchain Futurist Convention 2023, was it? Or 24? 24. August 24. Pedro and I are in the studio together. We are in the global headquarters, or the New England regional headquarters of DYOR Media, and we're doing the show from the same room, ladies and gentlemen. So we'll bring it to you a good show today. Hopefully, we're not having any technical difficulties, ladies and gentlemen.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, I think fingers crossed on that. But anyway, welcome to the show today. Pedro, I'm going to work on my background here. What's happening today? What's happening in the great state of Connecticut here in crypto?
Well, I'm more in the New York area. So, but in Connecticut right now, I would say that it is about to pour. And if anybody's ever in the Northeast, it's kind of like the Texans. When it pours, it just goes, it lets loose. So it's been humid for the last few days, and we're kind of expecting for it to kind of let loose here. So fingers crossed, it doesn't take out any power. That is real. Alrighty, can you guys hear us? Is that better?
Yeah, that should be better.
Okay. There we go. All right, next. You guys can do us a quick favor. Hit the like button, the like button, the comment button over to your left, over on Rumble. You guys hit that little comment button. It helps us out a lot. We've actually been pushing that lately, and we've noticed that we get more viewers by you guys just simply commenting on the comment, not the message part, which is where we have our conversation go, but the comments in the section of the show. We've been actually seeing a kind of jump in our viewership. I think it has a lot to do with, one, that you guys are commenting and connecting and communicating with us. And then what happens is, obviously, the rants do help us out quite a bit. So if you feel like departing with a little bit of your money, again, we're not pleading or begging, but we're kind of groveling. But we don't need to go there. But what I'm saying, though, is this. Just go through, hit the little comment, say, I don't like that guy with the big old nose and big lips and weird haircut that he thinks he's in the military, white t-shirt dude. I'm totally okay with that. Make fun of me 100%. It is gravy. But all I want you to do, though, is go through and comment, because it's always a good thing with us. Secondly, would love for you guys to go ahead and when you share this beautiful, amazing, award-winning show here, please hit the share button, and then make just an extra effort, and in doing that, go into your incognito browser, hit it, and then post our show in it. That helps us out immensely. Right off the jump, when you get that going in the show, it helps us out tremendously. So we ask that you would do that. Helps us out immensely. And that's about it in a nutshell. Enough of my trying to sell you something. Also, I've got some great potion for you guys. It's only $19.99 today only.
Send checker morning order to PO Box 120.
120. All right. Okay. Anyway, so Tom, it is really interesting actually having you in the show here. I mean, like right next to me. It's I almost feel as if it's like I'm like, he's like literally over my shoulder here, and like in the thing here when you were actually trying to bring us together, right? You looked like you were right over my shoulder. So it was super funny. Anyways, so hit the little comment section. Say, what's up, my people?
Ah, there we go. Just looking for this one.
Boom, we hit that. That is great. And Tom, are you sharing? What's that? Oh no, you're doing the.
I am doing that. I've shared it to two different things, as they say.
Right.
Anyway, welcome everybody. Welcome to the show. First time Pedro and I have done an actual show together here. Although we're both still staring at our cameras, so if we could be 1,000 miles apart, and it doesn't really matter. But a lot of news going on today. As I spoke about the main idea of Ethereum. Is it ready to go to 10,000? Is it ready to go back to 2,000? Why are people liking it so much? We'll talk about that later. Also, some of the other things, if you recall, yesterday was Technical Tuesday. Pedro we had an in-depth talk about inflation. We talked about rates and all that things to say. This morning, the Secretary of Treasury called for a 50 basis point cut in September and even hinted that they would want to cut even more. I'm surprised the markets didn't go through the roof on that.
Bonds did.
But bonds did. And Pedro will be skeptical because of that. He'll be like, something is not right. Something is not right here. And then in some other news that I caught, where did it go? I had it all queued up here. It's refreshing the pages, and it refreshed to new news. I hate when they do that.
No.
I hate when they do that.
So then you got to go scroll down and find out the things.
Anyway, this article here that the exchange OKX, what does that stand for, Pedro? Do you know what OKX stands for?
Original Gangsters.
Anyway, they recently launched their own, not recently, but a while ago, launched their own token to be the token. All the exchanges now have their own token to mimic BNB. They just burnt half of their supply, $7.6 billion worth. They sent to the dead wallet. I got to tell you, Pedro, if someone can figure out how to get money out of the dead wallet someday, they're gonna be richer than Elon Musk, I think. Anyway, that was very interesting. Pushed the price up. It almost tripled the price. It doubled the price by the burn, and then the FOMO caused it to go up another X. Very, very interesting in the news for that. And I had a whole nother list of stories here, but the Bitcoin.com news feed that I had refreshed, and it lost it. I hate when they do it. Why can't you just leave the news thing on? They would say, "Well, you need the breaking news." No, I want to read that story.
Yes. Well, what I do is I typically have a side area here that I grab the news and I just set it right there. Boom, boom.
Also in the news, Pedro, if you noticed our Crypto Swamp Creature brothers.
Yes.
The show, The Crypto Swamp Creatures, that is also distributed here on DYOR Media. They talk a lot about the comings and goings in Washington, D.C. And they've done a couple of shows about Bo Hines, the crypto, kind of the digital asset champion to the president and chief advisor to the president. He's out.
Yes, he is.
Bo is out, and actually his subordinate, Patrick Witt, is in. And Patrick has a similar background, Pedro. He also played college football. But he went to Harvard Law School, so he's got a good network of people. He's got credentials, almost no exposure to the crypto industry, but he's introduced Donald Trump at various rallies and things like that. So he knows how to play the game and knows the people involved now from his working as Bo Hines' assistant. So we're probably going to see a lot of new things coming out of the Crypto Council or whatever you call it. But it'll be interesting to find out if the Crypto Swamp Creatures can now. They've always wanted to get a meeting with Bo Hines. It should be easy now, Chris and Justin, to get a meeting with Bo.
Chop, let's go.
There's no reason why Bo is out. I have a feeling he's moving on to take a well-paying job somewhere, because now is the time for him to do that. But now you can try and get a meeting with Patrick Witt. Anyway, Pedro, the market's open this morning. There was news from Donald Trump about talking. There was news from the secretary saying, hey, we want a cut. What happened with the markets this morning?
Yeah, so there was a couple things that happened. So one thing, we've got some big news coming out tomorrow and Friday. And so one of the things I was expecting is we definitely saw the market, and I'm talking about the S&P 500. We saw it go up. And so for me, when I saw the good news about them talking about, how the market through the bonds are going to be going up, it was just a clear indication saying that we're going to see the S&P 5 drop off. And again, so we almost have this love-hate relationship right now going on between Bitcoin and the S&P 500 / NASDAQ or the NASDAQ. And so as we're watching this situation actually happen, we're seeing almost basically it's almost like this love-hate relationship where they push each other off and they do their own thing, but they come back together. And so the correlation is off and on. But when I started seeing BTC, this morning, early morning, from the Asian market and London market selling off, right? And then we started seeing BTC push up. It already put the wick in. We already seen it put the buyer wick in on the daily candle here. So to me, I said this is definitely going to go up from this moment on. And so when I looked at what was happening here with the S&P 500, we'll just go to the NASDAQ here. Boom. NASDAQ was pushing up, and I said, you know what? This is going to sell off, and we're going to see a divergence happen here between the NASDAQ as well as the NASDAQ as well as in relationship to BTC. And then once I started seeing really Ethereum start to take lead in this, I sat there and I said, wow, dude, Ethereum is strong as bull. I mean, like, it's just
strong like bull.
Strong like bull. I mean, and especially when I saw early morning volume come in and just holding. I mean, just this area right here, holding this into yesterday. And then today they're trying to sell it off. But if you look at it, your 30-minute and your 15-minute, you can sit there and see, like, look at this. You know, like you got to go down to the 30 and 15-minute. But if you look at this, there's definitely a lot more buyer volume stepping in. But if you look at the higher time frames, you'll actually notice that it looks like there's seller volume stepping in. And so this holding, this pattern right here, this holding, as Tom calls it, the flag, they were putting in supply wicks, excuse me, not supply wicks, demand wicks. As you can see, all the demand wicks and hardly any supply wicks that were being established. So the sell-off was very clear that they wanted to push it up into the afternoon, into the U.S. market, which then we saw the correlation with BTC, because BTC had already sold off into the more early or into the Asian and London market, and then we saw it come back up. So it's a pretty clear sign saying this thing's moving up. Now, are we going to see an all-time high? I think so. I think potentially today we could see an all-time high hit it. If we see Ethereum take off and we see it hit, again, we talked about this by the end of the week, I expected to see an all-time high here with Ethereum coming up to this level. I mean, Bankless themselves has literally a counter to all-time high. So it's really interesting watching them do this. And shout out, this time, we're going to see it go up.
This time.
Well, remember like last time when I talked about how I was talking, commenting within their show. I wasn't on their show, but I was commenting within the comment section. And I said, guys, they're putting in the shorts. They're going to drop this. It's not going to go all-time highs. This is dropping. And I gave like numbers from it's going to go up here, then it's going to drop down to here. One of my guys on my other communities, literally, and this was crazy. Like I don't take huge shorts. I just don't. I just basically, I look at how much I want to make. Actually, that's the wrong way. I look at my risk to reward ratio and what's the smart thing to do. And I stay within my risk to reward ratio because I know compound interest takes care of itself. And so, but I told him this is not financial advice, but this man went through and literally, and this is what blew me away. It literally, he put in a ton of money, and I guess he made a ton of cash off of it. Like he's like, he pulled money out of his, because I had been talking about this. We started seeing the short step in prior to even like a week and a half before. And so I was talking about this on my show, and he took some money, I guess, out of his house or whatever from the bank and like shorted this. And I was like, what are you doing, dude? I don't do that. I advise against this all the time. Do not. But he'd seen how many calls I would always call. And he was sitting there going like, oh, it is set to a one-time thing. So, Tom is in the shadow here.
I am here at light.
Here, let's see it.
Ah, I see.
Yeah. All right. Boom. ETH. Oh.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I just got the comment machine going. So if you could drop a comment or two now, so I can ensure that it works, please do so. Really appreciate it. I'm going to do the old check to see if they have any ads for us here.
Nice. As Tom is checking that, let's go ahead and see what's happening. Boom. We hit the share. There we go. Okay. All right. So let's check out where I think we're going to see Ethereum come in. So again, we talked about this on Monday. We came down, hit that 8. We were trying to hit that 8, and then we saw it go up. Now, again, we want to see this type of movement here, right? Now, we could come, there's a few places we could come down to. One being that 38, once we hit the all-time high, and we'll see it kind of peak above, then we'll see it come back down, and then we'll see it go back up again. Because again, remember, there are a lot of shorts sitting right here. And so when they get liquidated here, they're going to be pushed up. And so this is where you want to take advantage of that quick sell-off, potentially, and then get in on it when it comes back up so that you can kind of catch. Because the next pull up here, this push up and then come back down and then they continue up, will be a big deal, a big deal. And so that's what I'm expecting to see. And so again, I'm going to give my price targets for the year. I think a 13 to 15,000 Ethereum is going to be something where we could easily see, especially with what we're seeing with a lot of the ETH treasuries. They're definitely creating treasury companies and where you can actually take loans against these people. They're companies, and there's been, over the last 2 or 3 months, they've just been popping up like candy. It's just been not popping like candy, but popping up like roses or popping up like weeds. People are really starting to understand that you may be priced out of right now for BTC, but for Ethereum, it's still undervalued. Like I've been talking about that 1 to 5 ratio between Ethereum and BTC, and so that, again, that's a 20,000 market cap that we could sit there and see that relationship. Now let's check out here real quick. Let me make sure I have those numbers correct. So Bitcoin, Ethereum. So oh wow.
Yeah, it's storming.
It's real. It should go away in a few minutes. So we could easily see BTC get up to 100,000, or not BTC. We could easily see Ethereum get up to $1 trillion. I think we can see $1 trillion.
$1 trillion.
As BTC, remember, it's just, we're going to see both go up. So I think we could see, I think BTC, I've talked about it hitting that $3 to $4 trillion market cap, right? Because the last bull run, BTC literally hit almost a $3 trillion market cap, right? And so this is where I'm looking, a $2 trillion market cap. And so this is where I think we get to a $3 to $6 trillion market cap easily with BTC. If we get up to the 250, 300,000 that I think we could hit, that's a $6 trillion market cap that we see at the peak with BTC. Hence, 6 trillion, you would have a 1 trillion, if not maybe 1.5, $2 trillion when it comes to at the peak when Ethereum hits it. And so this is where my price gauge is, what I'm seeing with the actual volume coming in. Who's going to jump into this? Nation states are going to jump into this. Like, it's going to become FOMO. Instead of, you get FOMO, well, nations are going to get FOMO. Okay, like this is going to happen. And
they
then
sure do.
And then they're going to, and then it's going to crash. It's just part of how far will it crash? I don't know.
Well, one thing I do know, Pedro, is that we have a lot of good people watching that probably should be Rumble Premium members. Yes, they should be. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, you've probably noticed Rumble is growing fast and it's not slowing down. They're building a real alternative to big tech that puts creators first and actually protects free speech. And now there's Rumble Premium, an easy way to upgrade your an easy way to upgrade your experience. With Premium, you get ad-free viewing across the platform, no pre-rolls, no interruption, just the content you came for. Plus, Premium members unlock exclusive content and bonus videos, behind-the-scenes drops, and more from your favorite creators, even from Pedro and I. Right now, Rumble is offering $10 off an annual subscription. Just go to rumble.com/premium and use the promo code STUDIO at checkout. That's rumble.com/premium, promo code STUDIO. No ads, more freedom, and content you actually care about. That's the deal. Ladies and gentlemen, right next to me here, there's the ubiquitous QR code. Make sure you click that. Even if you don't sign up, click it, go see what they have to offer. Let our advertisers know that our studio audience, our audience, is interactive and that you would like to be here and are interested in their products. It helps Pedro and I out greatly. Also, in the comment section, there's a Learn More link. You got to do that. Click on it. If you're watching on your big screen TV, hold up your phone, click that QR code, and go to it on your telephone. Telephone. Who said telephone recently? Oh, get the Panaflex machine out.
Let's go get that that fax.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thanks to Rumble for sponsoring this segment of DYOR Live.
Nice, man. Nice. What was the carrot we got?
We got 16 whole cents for that.
There we go, people. We are moving.
And that's the most Rumble has ever paid us.
Really?
Yeah. Usually it's like 7 cents, 8 cents.
Oh, that's impressive. Actually, that's a full-on 100% jump there. Hey, that's a big deal. It's a really big deal. Let's go ahead here real quick and look at a few other things here. That's what I was going to do. Let's go. Alrighty. Boom. Hit that. Give me 1 second. Come and hang.
I'm gonna come. I'm gonna come. what does she say?
I love saying.
She says, "I'm not gonna come." Trump says, "Oh, I'm gonna come." I don't have the sound effects set up today, ladies and gentlemen, but if I did, that would be one of them that I played.
I always love this. Yeah. I saw something like "Come and hang" and see some TA. All right, enough with this craziness. Let's check out the markets here. It's been really interesting to see Ethereum really start to get going now. Watching it now, we're seeing it we're starting to see volume kind of drop off here, but we are hitting the average volume coming in. So I'm sitting there looking at this going like, okay, as long as we stay above like the average volume coming in, I know that this will keep continuing. I'm expecting us to see a bit of a pullback first when we hit all-time high and then see it pull back down. But ultimately, it's one of those things that, like we need to make sure that we just keep seeing correct volume come in as we're pushing higher. So yeah, it's about in a nutshell for that. Tom.
Yes, sir.
What have we been up to in relationship to news about the stablecoin?
Well, Pedro and I frequently talk about stablecoins, ladies and gentlemen. Here, I'm just trying to get some basic graphics up here while we're talking. Stablecoins a lot lately. And interestingly enough, the Genius Act passed recently, and Pedro and I spoke about how that would just grow the market for stablecoins infinitely. And I noticed that just as of this morning or whatever, the stablecoin market cap was about, I don't remember exactly what it was, let's say $260 billion. $260 billion of cash that Tether, USDC, Ripple, PayPal, and then the other, various other ones that make up the bottom 1%, have taken in, that people have given them fiat, $260 billion worth, and or Bitcoin, but mostly it's dollars, it's fiat, and they have issued tokenized your dollars in the form of a stablecoin. Now they have sitting on those piles of dollars. Pedro, if you had $260 billion that you needed to invest wisely with a guaranteed return and guaranteed no default, what would you do with them?
I would buy Bitcoin.
Wah, wah, wah.
Obviously, Treasury is one of those ones that I would definitely be looking to take part in. Obviously, I would play around with it, kind of treasuries around the world as well, right? Looking to take part in gold. But ultimately, we know that the USD is backed by treasuries and really the backs of the American people. And so most likely, that's where I would look to. Right.
So these groups are now buying U.S. treasuries in two places. They're buying them when China, Japan, etc. sell them, take them off their hands, which essentially is an OTC market and really doesn't affect the price. They can buy and sell them for whatever price they want. And since it's not going through a clearinghouse or an exchange or the Chicago Mercantile Exchange or whatever, the price is between them. So if China wants to offload a whole bunch quickly, and Tether says, all right, we'll give you 50 cents on the dollar for them, they can do that. So they can buy them and they can be an outlet with all of this cash. Secondly, they can go to the Fed when the Fed has their 10-year note offering the other day. Pedro, you know what? I just remembered I said I was going to follow up on that because it was an important 10-year note offering. And I didn't. I forgot to do that because I wanted to see if we were able to determine if Tether and Circle and crew were buying treasuries, and with all the new monies that they've been printing. I should say receiving. But anyway, I'm guessing this. Oh, I see the timer now. Yes. But anyway, that amount of money is. It's strange to see that for years they were fighting against us, fighting against us, and then all of a sudden the U.S. government is essentially being funded by the digital asset world.
Literally.
And that's a huge change. It's a huge thought process change. And as Pedro and I were talking before the show started, we commented, or Pedro commented, how fast the Trump administration has moved this stuff through.
I didn't expect it to be so quick. Like, it is lightning. I thought, because I didn't make. Now, we've been talking about the U.S. debt, and we didn't go into it yesterday, because I normally do, right? At least once a month. And the fact is that the debt itself is, growing at such a rate that is, it's scary. Like, it's just scary, right? And it's just, it crossed that 37 trillion, and it's already at literally 22 billion dollars here within basically 12 days. And it's a scary moment because it's like, it's growing, and somebody needs to fund this right here. Somebody needs to fund this right here. Where's it at? Government employees, right? Like this is where things need to be funded, right? And half of that is going to this. I won't say half of it, but what is it? I forget what the actual percentage of it, but a huge portion, I think half or 25 to 35% of it is easily having to pay for other people's employment. And so if we don't see money coming in, California used to do IOUs. Imagine the U.S. government having to give their people IOUs, which is it's crazy, absolutely crazy. So I want to see if you can. No, you can't. But it's just one of those things that I'm wondering, how much. And the fact is that Trump expedited the ability for crypto to step in and actually start to absorb the debt. And we're going to definitely start seeing a lot of this throughout the world. We'll see other stable coins in Europe that back the EU, as well as many other stable coins, whether it is Chechnya or whether it is
those Chechnyan bonds. Let's make sure we invest in those.
Well, here's the thing though. Where are they going to, if that stable coin, where are they going to put hold the value? They're going to buy treasuries, right? Because it's simple, it's easy, it's on the blockchain, so you can go in and buy it. And as we keep progressing towards the blockchain where everything is on it, it's going to make it's going to make buying of these much easier, and as well as it will also bring stability to a lot of other currencies out there that can't or don't have their ability to be stable. So because of that legislation or because of literally corruption. But it's one of those things that the people themselves can sit there and say, no, we want this to happen, because at least we know that if it's tied to U.S. treasuries, we're going to receive some form of debt, or yield off of that. So it's going to be really interesting to see progressing. But I did not expect it until maybe the last 2 years of his administration. To see him push this so quick and expedite it, and now that apart from the Warrens out there, it's one of those things that is really interesting because people, once you realize what's happening, we're still running to the point where the U.S. debt is going to overtake us if we don't create real jobs with real innovation that correlate out of that, i.e. manufacturing jobs that create real things that we can sell. If we keep the U.S. dollar down and keep it where it's roughly at right now, then I would expect us to see our economy really pick up. And I've talked about this last week and this week, that it's literally a 267 or 69% increase when we create those type of jobs here in America. So that's why I keep hitting that, because then if we can push that, this number right here, this number right here will dramatically jump. And that's what we need to see, because America needs to make more money as a national nation itself. So that's really, my fingers crossed, is what I'm hoping. I know I just gave a lot there. Go ahead, bud.
Hold on, I'm going to share my screen here, and because I have something that's very topical here. Let's see if we can bring this up here now. Tom browser.
And while Tom is
there, we go. I got it. This article here on decrypt.com or decrypt. Whatever. Bank groups urge U.S. Senate to close gaps in country's new stablecoin law. Pedro, the banks are already freaking out. Apparently, they didn't do their research or didn't lobby hard enough, or Trump's people just said, don't talk to us about it. But the banks are coming in saying there are gaps. And whenever you hear an industry word use the word gaps, that means that's cue for us to make money and the government to have cover, because they call it gaps. But anyway, the banking groups are warning of a massive deposit flight risk. Why? Banking groups have demanded that Congress close loopholes in the new Genius Act that allows stablecoin interest payments through exchanges and third parties. The banks warn that $6.6 trillion in deposits could be at risk of being withdrawn from banks and moved to crypto platforms. Industry momentum continues with major crypto firms such as Paxos and Circle filing for national banking charters. If you can believe that these crypto companies that were being sued to death are now filing for national banking charters. Anyway, because the stablecoin people themselves, Tether, Circle, etc., are not allowed to offer staking or interest payments on the stablecoins. Anyway, because they but that doesn't mean other parties can't. Pedro could accept all the stablecoin he wanted and issue interest payments on it. Third parties can, banks can, Walmart can, anybody else can in the world. It can offer it. And the banks are saying, wait a minute, if all this money is going into stablecoins and people pay interest on it, which is going to be more than the shitty interest that banks, the interest that banks pay. Oh, here's your 1% interest rate. Yeah. Meanwhile, they're making 20% on it on junk bond loans and stuff like that. It is a big problem for the banks, and I don't know why they didn't see this coming or lobby against it hard enough, or just maybe the Trump administration just said we need to shake your group up. It's definitely going to shape the group of banks up. We've talked about this endlessly. People have no idea what's coming with stablecoins. Once stablecoins are so, let me rephrase that, they are so easy to use. They're going to get easier. Every cash register now is just going to pop up a QR code. You just take your wallet, pop it, and they're already coming up with intermediate wallets. Not necessarily mixers, but just intermediate wallets for point of sale systems, so that you don't know the store's balance and the store doesn't know your balance. And once that happens, yeah, it's simple, because everybody with digital assets, which is the largest asset group in largest transfers of assets ever, is from the banking system, Wall Street, corporate bonds, and all that kind of stuff into there we go. Into crypto. the money's going there. And so people are going there. The young generations, like every time I talk to Striking Jr., all he talks about is, being able to use his crypto and stuff to pay for things. And that's coming. It's coming. And even though the president has pushed it, banks said, yeah, we went in on it, but we don't want everyone else in on it now, apparently they're saying. But people will be able to be sitting at a closing for a house and not have to wait for a check to clear or a cashier, go get a cashier's check, or waiting for the wire department to call to say it came in. You can just sit there. The lawyers can say, we done? We closed? All right, we got to pay. Hold up the phone. Boop. It comes in. Like if the mortgage company's recommended it, or is there, they do it. If you're the one that's paying cash for a property, you do it. You pay instantly. Done. Here are the keys. Bye. It's so much easier. And it doesn't cost 3%. Oh, and it costs, if the person has an airline rewards card, it costs 3.25%.
Yeah, well, here's the thing I want to bring up. Remember, it's 3% compound. This is the key to understand. Like, it's not just 3%, it's 3% compound because it's every transaction. And so all of a sudden now you're going to free up almost 15% of money, because a lot of money gets transferred over from banks and from people who do a lot of, like, if I'm looking to buy this building here, right, and the building's $2 billion, well, I got to transfer $2 billion out of these accounts into another account. Now, it's 3% every time I do that, and it's over every single transaction that happens. We're talking, and I bring this because this is really important to understand, this level of innovation is going to free up so much more money into the real economy. And we're talking people have a lot more money to spend and be able to transfer this or that. I mean, just businesses alone themselves are going to, again, almost have a better margin versus banks having that better margin. And this is the part that we've talked about multiple times, that as we progress here, like, people's money they're going to demand that. Now, granted, some people will get hacked. I'm not saying that that's not going to happen. People are going to get hurt. This is part of every part of new innovation. There's always little things, but people will demand, especially business owners, we're talking, 5-6% interest easily. Just I could get from just normal staking of my assets, even 4.25, 4.75% off of just staking on a exchange, versus my money was just sitting in a money market account. I may get 4.25. Maybe.
You may.
Maybe that's a big maybe. Whereas in a central exchange that's crypto, and that's not even talking a DeFi exchange. A DeFi exchange you can get up to 10-15% based off how you establish and how much money you have. And so this makes complete sense if I am a business owner and I sit there and all of a sudden I start really running the numbers and go, wait, this will give me reprieve, breathing room to actually be able to make money. So it's going to be really interesting to see what happens in the economy. And we're talking, again, I didn't think this was going to happen so quick. I thought this would maybe be the last 2 years, but the speed in which it's happening, we will definitely see some big push. Now, we're still going to see, I think we're still going to see the fall. I do think we're still going to see the fall. The bonds, them talking about, it going up, like this is, it's pretty clear here. You saw today, good. The futures actually went up much higher than what we actually saw in the 10-year. But ultimately, like when I look at this is a good sign saying that they will most likely drop rates. We're actually seeing the short end of the market drop rates here. I mean, look at the one month. You can see this 3 months here already falling through the lows here. We're already they're planning on their banks are already positioned We talked about months ago here that JP Morgan's bank was literally shorting the bond market while JP Morgan himself was saying keep rates at where they're at. Everything's gravy. Everything's amazing. And so like just this is always the stuff that I talk about, that I sit there and say, this is the asinine part about our economy, that these guys can talk smack, but on the back end do another thing. Jim Cramer, I always bring up that video of him, right? Talking about in 2007, 2006, fermenting. Even though it's not allowed, everybody does it. And this is what we see all the time. So you can see here, 6 month is starting to fall through the floor. It's sitting on the 200 period moving average, but 200 yield here is literally starting to fall through. And if it falls through that 200, the next level, honestly, is the 2.6 area on the 6 month. So this is a big deal. This is why I'm saying, if stuff hits the fan, we start to sit there and see, and I expect it, especially unemployment coming out this month or this week, especially CPI coming out tomorrow. We're going to see some things that are to come. And this is where I'm sitting there saying, we're already seeing it where the bond market on the futures bond market on the 10-year is literally jumping up. Okay. Then we're watching yields starting to fall through, the short end of the curve start to fall through. So this is a huge indication of banksters are looking to take advantage. Hedge funds are looking to take advantage of this move. And it's going to be really interesting as we progress here into this week or 2 weeks. Sound died. What?
No, that was a few minutes ago.
All right. But what are your thoughts, my friend?
First of all, I am no master of bonds, but we have been watching trickery and subterfuge, and I guess left hand not telling the right hand what it's doing or keeping it a secret from them. Because the bonds, as you've described a number of times, has given away the true intentions of the market. And the media is talking about one thing. The talking heads are wah, 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 wah.
And keywords, supply wicks. The supply wicks are giving away what the market is doing. Not me, I'm just watching. Meaning shoots up and then they sell off. It shoots up and sells off.
All right, so to be clear, that the bond market has done different things than other arms of the government is saying regarding statistics, numbers, and even the media and reporting things. And Pedro picked up on that a while ago, as you know, with the jobs report. The jobs were rosy and all that. But he's like, but the bond market's, not doing the same thing. If the market's great, the bond market should be doing this. Instead, it's doing the other thing. So somebody's not telling the truth. Sure enough, they weren't. And Pedro's picked up on that again and say, wait a minute, something's out of sync here. And so when I listen to your talk about the bonds, I don't, from my trading perspective and personal knowledge perspective, I don't look at it so much as the movements of it, because I don't trade it. What I look at it is the knowledge that you bring to it and saying, hey, the bonds are doing this, but they shouldn't be if everything else is right. So I think what I'm trying to say is that you're causing me to look at the bonds as the canary in the coal mine.
Absolutely. And honestly, just paying attention to, like, when they give you job reports, go look. You can actually go to the U.S. Bureau reporting. I forget what they're called. I'll pull it up here in a second. But you can go there and see where are the jobs really at. What sectors are actually being pushed. And we talked about this, 2 months ago, where they were exclaiming, "Oh wow, the jobs report are great. Everything's great." I was watching CNN was crying that the jobs reports were doing great because they don't like Trump. But then if you look at Fox News say, yeah, things are great. Jobs reports are this. Payroll's doing great. We're seeing, but they won't talk about is how many hours people are working. Is interest rates, is their paychecks keeping up with interest or inflation? And is it really holding, right? Like they cherry pick the correct words, but on the street, people are struggling. And so they can't sit there and actually buy the goods and services, or if they do, it's a lot less than what they were able to. I mean, Tom went from being able to buy 3 legs of chicken to 2 legs of chicken, and it just, it's real. This is real. So, it's just one of those things that as we continue here, I'm wondering if Trump is going to allow for real numbers, and really like a heart-to-heart talk of like, look, America, things are going to be bad. Like it is. We've lived fat off the cat, or fat off the
hog.
Off the hog. Thank you. And in that same sense, we're like a cat. As you can see where my brain was going. We've been scratching ourselves or other people trying to hold us, but the reality is you've got to drop. We've got to throw the bathwater out, and we got to hold the baby, and we got to do it gentle, and we got to deleverage here. We got to drop this knit. We got to get inflation really the market at a point where people can actually go through and live, right? If we can see prices drop legitly, and then stabilize from where it's at, or maybe drop a little, right? This is going to allow people, as things kind of get reshuffled, will actually have a base to be able to climb out of. And this is why I keep saying that Trump needs to create those jobs, get through the red tape, and make sure that that is up and running in the next 6 months to a year. And that can happen. We can do that. America is has that ingenuity to do it. But if we don't, it's going to be bad. So he's literally got to do it. I mean, he's got the ability. He's just got to get it done. And partly this next time around, we're going to see them coming. We're going to see them lower rates. It's going to be foolish if they don't, because just Australia and the rest of the world, they're all lowering rates, and they've been lowering rates for the last 6 months. It's just, so it's going to be really interesting. On a side note, have you checked out our friends Fire Chicken?
Rocking over $100,000 market cap, baby.
Yes, they did. Shout out to Fire Chicken. Look, guys, you guys are doing a great job. Look at that, 101,000. You guys came from literally 31,000. Actually, the low after you guys hit the, I think 190, or what was it? Yeah, 190,000. You guys dropped all the way off to 20,000. You guys consolidated, beat through the moving averages. And look at that, man. Shoot, you guys are pumping. So really looking forward to see what the next mile mark here, maybe 300, 400,000. It's getting pretty cool. Do we own Fire Chicken?
We do not yet. I looked through the wallets and we do not. I went through a wallet cleaning about, about 6-7 months ago. And
sold off.
Yeah, basically I sold all the little stuff in it to get enough money to get the money out of the wallet and use it for our other things show related. And so I believe we took out of it a cool $2. That was when it was at its low. And so now we need to go back in and buy some.
Yeah, let's go through and buy some of that. A shout out to our guys for Fire Chicken.
Yeah.
Lunchtime. What's up? How you doing, Dr. Fire Chicken?
Crypto Mike gives us a good comment here. See, that's why I watch you dudes. Pedro puts it out there, and Tom explains it to us rookies. And then he says, I may have been doing crypto since 2019, but man, I still feel like a rookie compared to Pedro and you. Well, thank you very much. I feel like a rookie compared to Pedro, so we're all in good hands here. Sorry, everybody. Dr. Fire Chicken says, lunchtime. What is up, everyone? Thanks for joining us. Dr. Fire Chicken, you are running a smoke show over there. It's time, Pedro, it's time for $1 million market cap.
Yeah, dude, if this thing hit $1 million market cap, dude, that's going to be fun. And they've got a pretty good amount of liquidity. They got 37,000. It's it's about 30% of whatever. A lot of times, you don't see that, right? Like, you literally don't see. Maybe you're lucky if you see maybe 10% liquidity, but so 30% liquidity is pretty sweet, pretty darn sweet. $1 million Fire Chicken. Hey, from Tom's mouth to God's ears, man. Let it happen. All right, and the best thing that I love about it is it's following that 8-period moving average perfectly. You see that? Boom, we consolidated on Monday, and then we saw it push up yesterday, and we're gonna most likely kind of see some consolidation here, maybe pull back a little, but as long as we're seeing this nice little period of it just flowing, that's what I want to see, right? Slow and steady, man. That's they're the ones who beat the rabbit. So, all right, next, let's go ahead. I wanted to bring up some.
Hold on, Pedro. You know, Pedro, one of the things that being here in the studio with you, I'm out of my normal routine, and part of that normal routine was having a little coffee. That's right, like maybe having a 1775 coffee, if you know what I mean. Have you still not tried 1775 coffee? Well, now here's your shot. The 1775 starter kit just dropped. Only 1,000 units. And I've been talking about this for weeks and they've been selling, so there's not going to be that many, not going to be 1,000 left. Better get on this. You're getting the bold dark roast that hits hard. You're also getting the smooth medium roast, and you're getting the Vitality mushroom coffee for clean energy and laser focus. No crash. No. All single origin, small batch, toxin free and mold free. Plus, you're also getting a gold spoon clip because freedom isn't served with plastic. No, it's not. You're getting a frother strong enough to stir up your coffee and your mother-in-law's opinions. Gotta watch out for those. You're also getting a black 1775 tumbler. You get $170 worth of coffee and gear, yours for $99. This is for the ones who've been watching 1775 blow up right here on Rumble. Wondering if it's actually worth it. Spoiler, Pedro, is it worth it?
Yes.
Yes, spoiler, it's worth it. Go to 1775coffee.com/studio and grab your starter kit before they're gone. Bold beans, clean fuel, and a morning routine that stands for something just like Rumble does. Ladies and gentlemen, as always, there's QR code right over here. Click it with your smart, if you're watching on your smart TV, click it with your phone. Go ahead and go visit our advertisers. Let them know the DYOR audience is interested in their products. It helps us out even if you visit. Let them know. Keep pushing the ads to us, and we can keep reading them and making that sweet cash that we can invest in Fire Chicken. Anyway, thanks to 1775coffee.com for sponsoring this segment of DYOR Live.
Absolutely. And if you guys, we got quite a few people watching us. I wanted to ask you guys to just do a quick favor. Please jump in, hit the like button. Also, if you go in, become a subscriber with us. Just it's free just to create a profile. And in doing that, it does allow us, it shows that Rumble like, hey, look, these guys are saying something, people are listening to them. But also, hey, Tom right there. But the other part behind it as well is, and I want to bring this up, is that by you coming in and partaking, by being a part of the show, you can comment, you can ask questions. But we also ask you to do a quick favor. Hit the share button. Make a comment down in the comment section, not necessarily in the message, but it's really in the comment section. And doing that, again, that does tell the algorithm they're asking questions, they're having a lot of engagement. And that helps us out tremendously. So please do that. And as always, hit the share button and click on it if you can in a VPN or just an incognito browser. That helps us out. Next. Okay. Tom, so, we've been looking at just like little plays that we could check out and, blockchains that are kind of up and coming and just little, means that we could kind of take advantage as this market pumps.
A quick note back to Fire Chicken, Pedro, a comment Chuck put up there is note that they have more than one pool. They also have a USDC pool, so when it says they have $37,000 in liquidity, that's just in that particular pool you had up. They have a whole nother one as well. So well-funded organization there, or project there, plenty of liquidity. On the rise, as Chuck says, $1 million a chicken. That's right. Eat more chicken.
So altogether, what's the actual market cap?
No, the market cap is correct.
Okay.
But the liquidity, the liquidity's additive.
That's what's up. That is cool. Actually a big deal. A lot of money. I realized that. Wow. And then what are you guys paying for a yield typically by doing the the liquidity. I'll open up the liquidity.
Well, it's whoever they use.
Yeah, that's one thing I want to do. Me a favor, Fire Chicken. Can you figure out how I can take part in the how do you go through and set up liquidity pools? I want to know how to do that, and I want to know how to do it correctly, because I've heard other people do it and then they lose money.
It's fraught with her. The question is, Pedro, do you want to do it for your own token, like from scratch, a new contract, or do you just want to add liquidity to an existing one?
Both. I'd love to know how to do both and delineate between the two.
Adding liquidity to an existing one is just as simple as going to Uniswap or QuickSwap or any DEX that supports that token, and you can add liquidity. And between Chuck and I, we'll be glad to show you how to do it. It's actually quite simple. As long as you have money in your DeFi wallet, you can add money. You can add liquidity to any contract.
Now, do I need to put in like $1 million to do it?
You can add $2 in liquidity, and you will get what if there's $100 in that liquidity pool, then you will get 2% of the fees. If there's $1 million in that pool, you'll get 0.02% of the fees, or whatever that actually is. They divide. The fees that are earned on liquidity are exactly proportional to how much money you have in that pool. So if you own a whole pool, I had a token that I established a liquidity pool for myself with just my own money. I was not part of the team or the contract, and it was the same amount of money as their contract, or as their liquidity pool. So I ended up earning half the fees.
Oh, wow.
For liquidity. But I provided half the money, so it's not like, what is he doing earning money? Provided something, got value in return.
Yeah.
Works well.
And how much? I mean, we're talking 50%, so if you put that in, and so you just want to make sure that area is being used a lot. So if you have liquidity, you want to make sure there's a lot of transactions.
Yeah, it was a project that had a total of about $5,000 in liquidity. They're 2,500. I added 2,500. I was hoping it was going to go to be a $1 million coin, and it was kind of a test. I was learning how to because sometimes it's better just to hold the token. Yeah. Other times it's better to invest in liquidity and hold the token. It depends on how it's paired and what you pair it with. But needless to say, it did not, in fact, go to $1 million. In fact, it stayed right where it was, and I took my money and ran. But the fee, you know what? When there was high volume, the fees added up pretty quickly. I mean, all of a sudden, one day the price spiked and then came right back down. And so the buys and sells didn't matter. So I remember all of a sudden seeing an extra like $300 in there, and I was like, wow, that was pretty good. Made more than 10% in one day. The volume was outrageous that day, But anyway, all simple enough stuff.
So yeah. So speaking of liquidity pools and how to do all that, let's check out some of the blockchain. And before we do that, actually, I'm going to go over Ethereum here real quick, because it's kind of cool to sit there and see this thing pumping. Like we've talked about this now for a while, but the fact is that this thing, I think it's going to happen today. I mean, it's pulling back. It's following I think the hour chart here. You can see it. Like it's playing. It's the 2 hour. What's up?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's definitely. And I know I would point out normally that seller volume here,
right?
But it's a doji, and if we go down to the smaller time frames here, you can see here that there's definitely been a lot more buying. You can see here, but just the close of it was just near. And so if you look at it, you can see there's been a lot more volume and buyers stepping in, trying to get in. So I'm looking forward to seeing a lot of FOMO come in, because, banks want to get in. So there you go. Nice little happy guy here. Let's go. All right. So I think we're going to definitely see it push up higher here. We're not putting a lot of supply wicks in. You can see every time we see it go down, you see demand wicks being established as they're coming in. So again, I'm looking at this going, look, Every time they try to do a sell-off, it gets bought back. So that's why I think either maybe today, I mean, it's been jumping up a lot, but I would love to see it. I would love to see it hit the all-time high, pull back, and then get ready and get going again into the end of the week. So it's going to be really interesting. Also, when you look at BNB has been actually close itself to new all-time highs. I mean, if you look at today, it came right to the tip here, and then we pulled back a little. And so we've been seeing...
They just stuck the tip in?
They did. They didn't even go all the way, and they just basically tapped the very end of it, and then basically pulled back here. So stop playing games with my heart, Mr. BNB, and let's see you get going. So there we go. And as this thing gets going here, you can see that we get expected to go up higher. There you go. It's the only time I'm putting that in. Okay. Next, all for you DJs out there. Next. All right. So I want to check out a couple other things here. And BTC, you can see here, SHIB has been moving here a little, but really what I was kind of shocked about was really the amount of volume kind of coming in with Doge. We're starting to see a peak above again here. It tried to sell off here for a few more days. So this area here from that 19 area all the way to that 24 area is kind of setting up for a bit of a takeoff here. So if you're into Doge, or if you're a part of an adjacent chain that messes with Doge a lot, this is expected to see get up and go here, because it's kind of setting up for that next leg up, which is going to be that 40 cent, 36 cent area here. So be ready. We could see a bit of a doubling here real quick. So just want to throw that out there. Now let's check out a couple of these plays here that I've been looking at. Again, these are more blockchains, and these are kind of ones that have been kind of growing over the last 6 months, kind of month over month. One is going to be Seller, and boom. You can see here that even though it's not necessarily screaming up, it's the amount of transactions that's happening on this blockchain has been picking up quite a bit. So I'm looking for it as a play here, especially that now that it's over that 100-day period moving average, with an increasing of volume stepping in. And so for me, looking at, I think I'm messing up. Seller is one of those ones, and that starts with the CELR USD here. The fact that we're kind of climbing above this and we're seeing an increase in volume is kind of a good sign, saying this is most likely going to continue here. The other one, let's check out here real quick, is going to be Flux. Now, we've talked about Flux here already on the show, but it's one of those ones, again, that we saw over the past month here, kind of an increase in volume. And so we're seeing it already kind of step up. We saw it wasn't able to get above that 8-period moving average, but it was climbing. You can see it's starting to climb again. And so I'm expecting us most likely to tap the 8-period, which is going to be that 29 cents area. But the key point that I'm looking at is this: is if we see this month with the increase in volume that's going to be above the average volume, I'm expecting this to see it get really going after that, because we should have something that looks like this. Boom, pop. And this will come down right to underneath here, and we'll see it pop and go up. So this is what I'm looking at for Flux here. So it's a good little place to kind of jump in personally. That's what I'm looking at, to kind of get in at these levels. And let me go ahead and give you guys the demand area. There we go.
Another comment from Chuck says, how much we have in the USDC pool depends on the market. If Solana is moving, we leave USDC pool thinner so price can move up. When Solana is dipping, we'll strengthen the USDC pool to help hold the price up. That makes sense. I have to imagine that there is a smart contract that manages that for you too out there.
I want to learn how to do that. I'm thinking about launching some stuff. And Chuck, I need to have a conversation with you how to do that, because that's actually a really smart thing to do. What if I'm trying to launch my own, let's say, blockchain or something like that? Do I have the ability to do that? Or is it different because it's a token versus a blockchain? I'd love to know your thoughts. Let me know. Boom. There we go. Again. Nice. Okay. So I like this area right here. If it pulls back, we see Flux pull back to that 22.18 area here. It'd be a good place to actually be buying. But again, we're going to see some resistance come in around that 27 area here because of the 200 period daily. But we should come push, pull back, and then come back up and see it continue. If we keep seeing increase in our on-chain activity here. Flux, I don't know the details on the actual blockchain, but I do like the chart. So it's looking hot to me. Just because of the volume and the fact that it's climbing above the moving averages, it climbed above that 100. So that's something that I'm looking at. And then the other one, I want to say Moonbeam.
Moonbeam.
Yep,
Isn't that Frank Zappa's kid? Oh, no, that was Moon Unit.
Moon Unit.
Moonbeam GLMR. Moonbeam GLMR. $77 million Polkadot-based EVM-compatible chain, supports cross-chain interoperability, hosts active dApps.
Now, the thing that I'm liking about it is this, is when you look at it, it's pretty much cleared all the moving averages, right? And additionally to that, you can see that it's starting to pick up. Now, it's thinly traded, you can see here. But the key point is this, is we're seeing it increase, and we're seeing it increase at a level where it's month over month. And so this is another one that's within the last 6 months, we're seeing it pop like it's hot, almost like a hot potato. So for me, I would sit there going, you know what? We've got the low, we got a lower high, higher low. So the next play here would be a higher high. Now, obviously, it's been playing off of that weekly and that monthly 8. You can see here, or it's the weekly 8 here, where it's been kind of playing, and I'm going to fight off of this. But if this month we close above this level here, I would expect to see Moonbeam, the next level, really pop to a higher level here. So this is kind of like where I'm looking for Moonbeam here. I actually realized I didn't give any supply area on Flux. All right, so that 9-cent area from the 8-cent area here doesn't seem like a lot, but it would pop here and then give you at a good position here if we start to see this thing really take off, especially with banks. Banks are going to need to jump on the blockchain. They're going to have to try to create their own. It'd be silly for them because they don't have the experts per se to really do this. Most of their people, they have kept them from understanding DeFi. And so they're, like most DeFi people are very much independent, and it's going to be really hard to bring and pull with talent these young kids into a banking system. And you're going to have to spend a lot of money just to get something mediocre. So it'd be smarter for them to actually look for blockchains that best suit them. So this is where I'm kind of looking at GLMR here as it starts to move. And we could see this thing pick up. Tom, do you know what the market cap for this is?
I do not. I don't have my market cap thing going here, but I can add it to my commentary here if I do one other thing.
If you don't got it, we don't need it. I mean, it's not one of those things.
No, but I like to learn these things. It's just hard to do all that remote.
No worries. It's weird because Tom's literally right next to me, and I literally hearing you.
What's up, Pedro? How the potions? Oh my
So
God, I have
creepy.
coffee breath to die. Oh my word.
It's all good. You're good. But what's interesting is actually, I just realized the sun's starting to come out. If you want to scoot over and get some of that sun.
I don't want any of that, son.
All right.
Ain't got time for that.
I got time for that. But if it clears, if it clears the 10 cent area, that 11 cent peak here is not going to hold. I expect this thing honestly to do price discovery, and if we start to really see a pickup in volume within on the blockchain, it should go. We're barely about halfway through, so you can see that the volume within the actual chart itself isn't 100% there, but it's one of those ones that I'm looking at and it's on my radar, so be looking there. The next one I want to check out is going to be Chromia, and we've actually had a few of our people here talk about Chromia. I think Mike was talking about them as well. Was that you, Mike, who was bringing up Chromia? I forget. Give me a second. Chromia. We'll stick with the Binance one. Not USDT. Let's.
Purpose-built for gaming and metaverse applications, supports active decentralized applications with thousands of. I didn't copy that. Didn't copy that enough. With thousands of users.
So Crimea, I'm looking at right now.
Chromia,
excuse me. Crimea River.
That's where I went to with that.
Sorry, people. Not bad. If you're a part of the community, please forgive me. That's absolutely horrible. I mean, no disrespect. But in the same sense, you can see here that it's been fighting that 8-period moving average. But the fact that this baby closed green, and the fact is that we went down first and we're now pushing up. I think we're going to close above that 8-period moving average, which has been holding back Chromia. And so if this thing clears the 8-period moving average, as a trader, I'm then looking for the next price point. That next price point is going to be that 23, 26 area. And right now we're sitting at a 9-cent market cap. So again, this is one of those ones I think is a sleeper. Don't sleep on them. I think, I think as a blockchain, they're innovative. They're trying to really focus more on gaming. And that in itself is one of those ones that we know potentially is just a big, I mean, right now, blockchain still isn't producing games that are worthy of just, traditional gaming consoles, as well as just online gaming, but it's climbing quickly, and I don't think it's going to die. I think sooner or later it's going to take over, just because the speed itself isn't the speed isn't as quick as what is with traditional gaming. But I think we're definitely going to see a flip here. If we look at the weekly chart here, you can see that we climbed above the 8-period moving average. And remember, I always talk about that first tap on that 8. Do we see it hold? And then do we see volume coming in? And so right now we're halfway through the week, and it's kind of playing here. So I want to see the volume climb above this previous week here, and doesn't have to encapsulate the previous or 2 weeks ago of the seller week here. But the fact that we're seeing it hold right here on the 8, and we're starting to see it go up here. So if we see it climb, the next play here is really that 50-period moving average, which is sitting at that 14 cents. So we can see it go from 10 cents to 14 cents, which is a 40% increase here. So it's one of those ones I'm definitely looking at, paying attention to. Keep on the forefront of your mind while this baby is popping, because it might get hot.
What's the all-time chart for that look like, Pedro?
I think it's at
looks like it's at
10.
its all-time lows.
Yeah, so it's 50 cents. Yeah, so it's 56 cents. It was like a 10x. From the lows, it was at about 6 cents. And so the high was 56 cents. So it's a nice little play here. We could see some big pumping. I'm purely just looking at this at the, just from a charting standpoint. They're at their lows. We're starting to see everything pump. We're starting to see Ethereum pump. And as these start to make money, we're going to see money get disseminated through other places. And so as that happens, I'm looking for plays that we could potentially see some meteoric growth and just see it just really excel and make extra gains. And if this thing really gets going, right, and they really start producing a lot of good games and it's on the actual blockchain, I mean, $1, you could see a $3, because I look at the previous high, And this is not even in the bull market. When the bull market really starts, you really see this thing get up to $1.50, $2. So that's why I look at this going at 10 cents. We could see a jump. We could see a jump pretty well.
All right.
Next, what time is it?
Plenty of time.
All right. Next, we have Vera, which is what we've talked about already. VRA. No. VRA.
I don't know which one they are. Veracity? Is that what they are?
Yeah. No, this is Vera.
Vera.
Decentralized world and an esports platform awarded patents for proof of view. And so this is another one that I'm looking at. Again, it's Vera, VERA. Again, I think this is an undervalued blockchain. It's one of those ones that is quick. It basically promotes, this is authentic, this is real, you can check this out. And they play more in esports and other things that correlate with that, where you want to go check out things. I think ESPN, if they're smart, I would buy a lot of these guys. Potentially this could become the competitor. And so nothing like jumping in with your competitor as they are as they are small and they don't even know it. Now let's look at the weekly and the daily chart here. When you look at the weekly chart, you can see that people have been buying this at this low here. You can see there, and you can see over the last 2 weeks, besides the previous weeks, we've actually seen a drop in volume, right? As you can see here, and it's finding support on that weekly 8 here. And so honestly, I could sit there and see this thing if it's already starting to go green here for the week. And so if this thing catches wings, we're watching it get to that 2 or 0.002 and sitting at 0.00038, a 0.002 is easily a 2x, if not much higher here. So it's one of those ones I'm looking at to check out. And let's check out the daily. Daily here, 50 period moving average, as always, holds the line. It's been battling that 200 period moving average right here. But you can see we've already tested here. We didn't create a new lower low, so I would expect it to push up and go higher there, right? And so it's almost like I don't know what that is, but that was interesting. I wasn't trying to do that. But we should see it clear this 200 period moving average over as we start to push higher. Now, where's the area that we could potentially see it pull back from? Most likely it's going to be this here.
$132 million market cap. They're fully it's almost all the way minted now. They have only $143 million fully diluted. And the circulating supply, 85 billion or so. There's still a lot of money in this project. Still a lot of money in this project. And the real name is Veracity. It's a Vera for short.
Veracity. So check these guys out. It's one of those ones. We want to see, the biggest key is we want to see it close. We want to see it green, and we want to see it close above that 8 period moving average on the month. So this is what I'm really looking for this month, to see if we close above this for Veracity. Next one, let's talk about where the supply could be coming in. So one of the things that we could also see here is for Veracity, this area up at these levels of that 0.004 would be honestly where we could see it kind of pull back from, right? Find support and then go try to reach its all-time high. All-time high is actually sitting at about 1.016 cents. So basically right now it is about a 10x. It's a little more than 10x from its all-time high, and there's a lot of usage on this. So it's something to be paying attention to as we start to move forward here. Next, did I put a demand?
Paw.
Yep. Now, Paw, shout out. I've been on a few of their why am I remembering what it's called? Spaces. I know the dev team. The guy seems legit. They do it every day, and it's one of those ones that I'm definitely looking at to see what comes up. Paw
Chain integrates multiple layers, 0, layer 2, and 3 for instant finality, promotes unified liquidity pools and cross-chain DeFi, focuses on simplifying transactions. I'd actually like to know how the technology that works. It seems fraught with danger. With cross-chain things going wrong. Carmen Crypto in the house. Thanks for joining us, Miss Chumbalone et.
What's up?
Carmen, we got a surprise here. Pedro and I in the same house. Woo woo.
He's in the New England. What'd you call it? The New England headquarters.
Yeah, that's not what I wanted. The Pedro Solo. This is the one. We're chilling here in Connecticut with Pedro, the regional headquarters and easternmost studio of DYOR Live.
We got another headquarters down in Las Vegas there, and one up in Chicago. Now all we need is one out in California. We're solid. Wait, isn't
Chris is in Dallas?
Yes.
Say what? Now I am jelly, she says. Jealous. Yes. Yes, Carmen, Mrs. Striking and I are in Connecticut to see some relatives and Pedro. We saw my cousins last night, which was great. Seeing his daughter grow up and become now a senior in high school is amazing. And now tomorrow we're off to New Jersey for another relative's wedding this weekend. Oh, I need to do a ad check here.
We need a ping every time we have an ad. You need to build somewhere it just pings and lets you know.
Oh, we got one, Pedro.
Nice.
Got a good one too. Awesome. Having a hard time reading it on this screen though.
Go ahead.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to pay the bills here. Set your clocks, mark your calendars, and buckle up for the best NFL primetime football action starting September 4th on Westwood One. You can catch all the bone-crushing hits, last-second heroics, and edge-of-your-seat action that the NFL Thursday, Sunday, and Monday nights have to offer. Whether you're tailgating, driving, or chilling at home, don't miss a single snap. Listen on the NFL app, the Westwood One Sports app, at westwoodonesports.com, or just say, Alexa, open Westwood One Sports. If it's the NFL, it's on Westwood One. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a QR code next to me right here. Click it, download the Westwood One app so you can listen to all the new NFL, not the new NFL, but the upcoming NFL games, the Thursday night, the Sunday night, and Monday night games, all on Westwood One. There's a link in your comment section, too, that says learn more. There's also a description in the body if you're watching this on the replay. Please join our sponsors and our segment sponsors. Click those links. If you're watching your smart TV, hold up your telephone, I said it again. Now hold up your phone and click that QR code and go to it. Show our advertisers that you guys are real people and are interested. So thanks to Westwood One Sports for sponsoring this segment of DYOR Live.
Let's go. All right. Thank you guys so much for coming in. Appreciate every one of you. We're seeing a big spike again this week with all the money that's happening and coming into crypto. People want to know about crypto. And so if you guys have any questions, please log on, create a profile within Rumble, and just ask questions. I really enjoy kind of explaining things. And a lot of times the questions that people ask, I haven't even thought about. I'm like, ooh, that's actually really good. Let me really do deep dive research into those questions so I can deliver for you guys, for whatever you guys need. So please come on in. We appreciate every one of you guys who do watch us just on their TVs and just phones in the background. But if you create a profile, you can come in and ask questions. And also you can hit that little share button and do the little play around where you can go into cognito when you can have a little fun with that. Anyhow, thank you so much again for coming in, guys.
Carmen's working from a pool, or going to be working from a pool. She's working the Las Vegas Strip today. Oh wait, that didn't come out correctly. Bro. I'm working the Las Vegas Strip today. Wink, wink. At the Resorts World Casino. Got comped rooms and planning on working from the pool later. Sounds tough to be in Vegas. I bet you it's as hot as here as it is in Vegas today. Crypto Mike says, I'll be the Canadian correspondent at the Canadian National DYOR headquarters. Yes. you were bringing us all the hot news from Manitoba there.
Let's go.
The hillbilly headquarters here in Oklahoma, says Fire Chicken. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a worldwide crew here. Multi-country, just the best. All right,
Yes.
Pedro, we were on, I think we left off at Paw Chain.
Yep, so these are some of the areas that I'm looking at for it to get to. We've been putting in over the last few weeks some demand wicks here, as you can see here. And the key point is what we want to see is we can see a drop in volume as long as we stay roughly around the same price. You can see here how the pricing was dropping off, and we saw it kind of come back down as we saw an increase in sellers, right? We saw the sell-off. But right now, what I'm concerned is I just want to see Paul just continue to have buyer weeks. I want to see green weeks every week, right? And I want to see volume roughly around the average, which is what we're seeing here. So it's one of those things that as Paul really starts to pick up steam here, especially with what they're doing, the transactions and making things easier to actually trade back and forth within other exchanges as well as blockchains, we'll definitely see them used. So one of those things to just pay attention to is them. We want to make sure that we see an increase in volume. Now, when it comes down to an actual demand wave that we're looking for, I actually like this recent one here. You can see here right off the top, came in. Where are you at, buddy? There you are.
I'm sitting here. I realized I'm watching your screen over my laptop screen because it's easier to see your big monitor than the little laptop screen that I'm looking at here.
That's what she said.
Boo.
Anyways, and then she laughed. And then, no. Next. Okay. So let's go ahead and check this out here real quick. This is the type of this, as Tom says, this is the type of entertainment you get with us.
Doesn't get any better.
Oh yeah. All right. If anybody is an Office fan, shout out, please blanket our comment section with a ton of Office quotes because
they're endless.
Endless. Everybody stay calm. Everybody stay calm. Sorry, I didn't mean to blow out your ears. Okay, next. So the supplier that I would expect it to come and tap into is probably going to be come up at these higher levels here. If it can blow through this level here, then there's really nothing that is really going to stop until we get all the way up to these kind of all-time highs here with Tom. Because it's already traded through. The only one that hasn't been traded through is this supply area here. So we're going to move that to right here. This is the weekly. Boom. So it's got to fight through. You guys are coming up to some resistance here. But I'm telling you, you guys got some good community there. I've seen you guys all over Twitter. You guys got a great community. So keep doing what you're doing. Ultimately, last month, you guys came in pretty strong. And I'm looking for you guys to kind of see it keep up and going. When you look at the 5-minute, you can see here that it's pretty dominant. You have a lot of buyers that are always stepping in. This thing is littered with just big buys. So that means people are using their blockchain to really be able to kind of trade for whatever they're trying to do. So I'm making sure you guys are paying attention to this here. But you got to get through it. But after we get through this resistance of that 13 cent area, 10 cent area here, The next, honestly, is kind of all-time highs because everything's been traded through. And I know you're like, well, what about all these other levels? That we'll have pullbacks, but we're not gonna this is the only area here that's really hasn't been traded through. You can see here that we put in a good amount of volume here at these levels, especially right here. This is a good example. We see this right here, which was this low right here. You saw the explosion. This is what I'm expecting to see right here as well. And so if we take a step back and look at the full panorama, you can see really what it wants to do. So again, let's wait and see. And but I do think we're going to see some legs on Paul here. Time already. Next, DGen. DGen. Tether perpetuals.
DGen.
Tom, so it's actually, I'm realizing that I've been talking a lot here.
DGen, yeah.
I'm gonna let you talk about some news here real quick because I gotta go.
All right, it's time for a quick break for Pedro. We'll come back to DGen in just a moment. Anyway, I was looking at Podchain's chart here. I got the DGen text up, but I was looking at the Podchain chart, and it looks like their big increases are from burns or something like that. And so I'm not sure. I don't follow them, but if someone has any idea what those big increases were, if you're involved in Podchain, let me know. It looks like it's certain times that they burned a lot of stuff. And what I like to do is take the chart. And Pedro didn't leave his chart so I could see it well. But if you just if you had it on a piece of paper and were to cut those off and lower the chart, you'd just see one huge sell-off. Seems to me that that's what was going on with them. Hey, where did I go? Hey there. Oh, I'm blue. Red, blue, yellow. That's better. Nope, now it's off. This device Pedro has. 15. 20. Let's see if it stays on. Nope, it doesn't stay on. Anyway, we'll go with it, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Let's do a little. Shout out to everybody here. We've got close to 20 people watching the show right now. Really appreciate it. Pedro and I have had some record views the past couple days. Not just the live action. We have, we end up with a pretty good crew watching. We've been moving up the ranks with Rumble. We're an official creator with them and participate in their creator program. Oh, bitches! And our viewership has been respecting that either level of quality or acceptance. So we thank all of you for that. And we're going to be hopefully reaching new highs. Their past couple of shows, just so you know, the shows this week all have reached 300 viewers. I almost said 300,000 viewers. Pedro.
One day.
But 300 views. And yesterday there was 200 views by the time we turned the show off, which was a new record for us. And we consistently had 20 people or so going. Chuck, thank you. I realize you have multiple device help, but we had another 180 views, and people come in and tune in for a certain part of the show, and we really appreciate that. We do end up on Rumble's homepage a lot for people that are involved in crypto or finance at all, because they restructured their finance page to combine finance and crypto. And generally, we're one of the highest viewed shows in those segments that are live. I don't mean recorded ones as people pump it up with 67,000 views. I mean the live shows that are on. So we ended up in the live now in the finance category and crypto category. So we get a lot of people clicking on it. So if you're one of those people, hey, share the show out, stick around, and let us know what you got going on, where you came from, and how you found us. Anyway, Pedro has returned to the chat, as they say.
Yes.
And DGen.
Yes. So let's look at DGen here. Real quick, I think maybe Shogun might have gotten his show. If you're watching my show, you just sent me something on the Pride. Yo, let me know that's really you. I was just in the back of my mind, I'm like, oh shoot, I was about to click on this link that was sent, and then I was like, wait, click just to make sure it's him. I'll go on his live either tomorrow or tonight just to make sure it's him. Next, where am I headed to? Oh, Degen. All right, so Degen is one of these ones like where you can look at it and you can see, even though we've been seeing kind of like this is what I like to see, right? I like to see a steady eddy when it comes to volume. And then if I'm looking for it to go up, I want to see a decreasing level of volume coming in on the sell view. And so you can see that even though we're seeing a lowering of volume.
I have a graphic on the left side there.
Oh, you can't. All right, I see it. You can't see it. All right, my bad. Thank you. Oh, that's dope. You created a.
I grabbed
Nice.
I grabbed CoinGecko's.
So this is why I'm with this man here. Because this man is like, he's so crafty, dude. Or like in the good way. Like he's very. What's the word? What is the word? You are
The evil genius.
an genius. He's witty. Not only just is he witty, but he's quick on his feet, and so he knows how to do.
Yet I can't figure out how to work this light.
The thing, honestly, that's my fault because I probably should have grabbed one. A lot of times,
It doesn't stay on. It just
doesn't.
turns.
It's every 20 minutes. I know.
No, I mean this only stays on for a few seconds.
Oh, I know why now. Shoot, it's
Oh.
running out of battery. I should have had it.
It has to charge or something.
Yeah. The reason why I got it was one because it's daylight.
What did I just say, Pedro? Any of these houses catch fire here?
Dude, don't even speak such.
Literally, there lives in a neighborhood that's a loop and it's older houses, and I was like,
Yeah.
man, it looks like these things are ready to go. He's like, no, everything's fine. Fire truck just went by.
We have a fire company, literally like not even a quarter.
Uh-huh.
But we could actually skip there and within 20 minutes. Anyways, okay, enough with my craziness. I don't even know where that came from, too. All right, so let's go ahead and check out DJ here. One of the ones that I really like is this, or for Degen, is you can see here that it's, as Tom says, idiot box here the last few days. Even though we're seeing volume step out and we're seeing the whole entire market push up. One of the things that I'm looking at for Degen is like, again, you can see here, you look at all these sellers, look at all this seller pressure here, okay? It dropped this market, but we put in a higher low here, right? And then as we started going higher, you can see they're putting in buyers, right? These are buyer wicks here. At these lower levels, I don't know who's buying, but they're buying. And again, it didn't just sell off at random areas. It sold off on the 200 period moving average, which is what, as I always say, it is an institutional seller of moving average. So when I see it really start to sell off of the 200 period moving average here, it's one of those ones that I'm expecting this now to continue higher, right? You can see we've got above it. We've got above it, not necessarily with strong volume, but with enough volume where it's consistent. And so for me, I'm looking at it going, dude, this is prime for a Degen to get going if this thing really starts to find some legs. And when you look at the weekly chart here, again, you saw the sellers come in, but this is one of those huge parts you can see here is that look at this buyer wick off of the 20 period moving average. Look again, the buyer wick down at these higher level or these lower levels. These are indications of people are buying this. These are institutional buyers, even if they don't even know what this is. Somebody's buying this, and so for me, I look at this going, this is a potential play here that I'm looking to take advantage of, especially with the lows of being a 0.004, and the highs on this was literally 3 cents. This is a 10. This is a banger. This is a 10. These are one of the ones that I look at to say, if in 3 to 5 years, this thing could skyrocket. Again, we don't know. But these smaller plays here are always those ones that just come up with a new thing. Just like with any type of corporate entity, right? The big corporate companies out there have a hard time moving and pivoting to new technologies, right? I.e., traditional banking systems, right? Now they're all stumbling back, going, "We're about to fall apart. Why didn't we jump on this?" In the same sense, if we see tradition, or if we see the mainstream like Ethereum and a lot of these other blockchains start to slip up, these guys are going to be the ones that are going to step in and kind of take over. And, you know, all of a sudden it goes from maybe 50 million market cap to, you know, 30 billion, 40 billion. So it's one of those things I'm always looking at and trying to see the nuances. I'm always paying attention to blockchains, i.e., because I'm creating my own. So that's why I'm always looking to see what's actually happening here. Okay, man. So let's look at potentially where we can see it. If it does pull back, let's see where we could potentially go to. So there's this area right here, July 20. No, I want to go down to this lower. So we have two areas here that I could see kind of holding. That would be this area here. Let me make sure. Yeah, there we go. Yep. Boom. This area here. And the other area is going to be right here. Let's mark this as a monthly. Again, guys, if you guys have any questions, let me know. I would love to answer them. And if something that I'm talking about, because a lot of times, like, again, Tom helps me out. I say things and I realize it doesn't make sense to you. So please jump in, ask questions. And so then Tom like, "Oh dude, look, you're being like, you're talking too much. You're just simplify this."
Explain the end before you explain the beginning.
Yeah, there you go. So that's actually been really huge for me. That analogy really helped me out. Like, honestly, when you said that, I was like, that actually completely makes sense.
You don't teach people how to gut the fish or why it's important. You gotta teach them to catch the fish first, then gut the fish.
Mm-hmm. So you can see here it's playing off of the monthly area. I really expect us to see it get through this 8 period this month here. And so if this thing really gets going, I expect DGen really to catch up into that 12 cent or the 1.2 area to the 9 cent area here. And again, sitting at 0.4 is a nice little play here. Next, let's check out what time is it.
Got plenty of time. I got extra time if you do.
Okay, yeah, I do. Already. We got 2 more here.
S Fund?
Yes, S Fund. Is this? I just want to make sure. Now, Tom, I want you to know, I used to struggle. Okay, look, I see how far I am away from that?
Yeah. Oh,
okay.
yeah.
All right, now watch. I used to have to sit there and do this and struggle just to see this. I didn't want to wear the glasses, right? And I would read like a child because I couldn't read it. Now look at this. S Fund, 42 million blockchain launched for gaming, metaverse, Web3 with many ongoing supportive projects and user participation.
Oh, go ahead. You can read that from far away.
Now, far away. All because these things.
Let me see him.
I'm telling you, dude, they work your eyes. They are legit. Like, Pure Chad, what's up, baby? You chopped off your hair and sold it for more crypto, didn't ya? Hey, I'm not saying nothing.
Oh, yeah, that's
clean the fifth. The fifth. The fifth.
Hold on, I've got a present for Pedro. Hey, that air conditioner works well.
I'm telling you, dude, I'm all about the. I'm not an air conditioner guy. I'm not, but I think AC is.
Sometimes you need it.
Yeah.
Pedro, from the Blockchain Futurist Convention.
Oh yes, yes.
He used to have to when Pedro sounds like he's reading like a 5th grader or like a 2nd grader. It's not because he's a slow person. It's because he's too far away from his computer without his glasses.
Well, I am slow.
But now he doesn't have to wear those because he got these polka dot things that
work. They legitly work. And you don't think it, right? But like I'm looking at this, right? So you can see, if you look at that, see how it's hard, and it works on my eye muscle.
Yeah.
And so I do it for about 15. Now I do about 30 minutes of it a day in the morning, along with like the, you see my red light therapy stuff, and it's working. I am shocked.
I'm getting Pure Chat. In case you didn't notice, Pedro and I are the reason I'm able to hand him things back and forth is because I'm in the same room with him this time.
Oh, what shocking rap. Wayne's World.
Wayne's World.
Party time. Excellent.
True.
Sorry.
Anyway, we got Seedify up. S-Fund, Seedify.fund. Trading at 60 cents. $37 million market cap. About 60 million fully diluted, so there's a bunch more to be released or unlocked or whatever the story is. Only 5 million traded in the past 24 hours. That's still a lot of money for a small group.
So what I'm looking for, again, we're just going over new blockchains. What I'm looking for is month over month over the last 6 months that I've seen either increase in hash rate and usage within that blockchain. Again, I'm looking for small gems. We're not throwing a ton of money into these, right? I mean, maybe at the most $10, $20, but because they're at such a small market cap area, right? You just let it go, check in maybe once a month, right? I have a list of things that I check on my DGen experiences, and I go and I check, boom, once a month, boom. What's going on? Am I seeing increase in volume? Am I seeing decrease in volume? Am I seeing them getting above moving averages? Am I seeing moving averages holding them down? That's really all that is, and it's real quick, click, 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 and that's it. But once you start to see it, if they get legs, they really start to run, all of a sudden you got a 10x, 100x, 1000x potentially. You've got now something that could potentially really allow for real wealth, right? Where all of a sudden you put it on that blockchain, you stake, you give a liquidity pool, or you put up a liquidity pool area for them, and all of a sudden now you're bringing in 10% off of something now worth maybe 50, 60,000. Right, and that's on a monthly basis. So again, doesn't seem like a lot of money, but 10%, 10% on $50,000 is a pretty good chunk, right? It's $5,000 a month that they do kick off. So it's important to be looking at. So that's why I'm looking at a lot of these plays here, and a lot of them are good blockchains. These aren't just like small little blockchains that are just like meh. All right, right. But it's actually playing. It's actually doing well. So. This is what I'm looking at for S-Fund. Its biggest issue that it had a couple months ago here was that it was getting above that 8 period. We saw the 8 period moving step in. And then this past month, we actually saw somebody sell off and dump. So I'm not as bullish on this here for S-Fund, but I am looking at the fact is that it has had an increase of month over month in usage. And so I'm really kind of paying attention to this. For me right now, I'm not throwing in $10, $15 on this, but I am looking for it to kind of pull back to a couple areas and see if we can take advantage of that. You can see here, this is that giant supply wick. We sold off the 50 period moving average. I want to see us get above the 8 period moving average with increasing volume. But what is good going on is that we're seeing a decrease in volume as we're coming down. So you can see here a decrease in seller volume here and a fairly good increase in buyer volume here. And so this is the area that I would think that if it's going to find support, this is going to most likely be the same area that it's going to find support. And so there's this low, higher low, lower high, and I would expect this to kind of come down, fight through this area here, bounce back off, boom, see it go up, come back down and go up, right? So these are some of the plays that I'm looking at here. So I like this area, 52 cents for S-Fund.
Pure Chat says nice volatility.
Yeah, exactly. Great volatility. So one of the things you could also know, I always talk about this, is a lot of these chains here, you can actually trade on future platforms. And so you can take part in the volatility as it starts to move. And if you become intimate with a lot of intimate with the chart itself, everybody knows the heartbeat of Bitcoin. Everybody knows now the heartbeat of Ethereum, right? Well, as these other blockchains start to really blossom and get going again. just like the type of businesses that we see here in today's world, right? And TradFi, it's the same situation. We're going to see a plethora amount of businesses really start to develop. And so that's why I'm looking at these smaller companies. I'm expecting a lot of banks so that they can earn alpha, because they are going to lose it in a couple of areas, right? Like we talked earlier about today's show. They're going to lose it in fees, and they're going to lose it in interest rates, right? Because they're going to have to increase their interest rates to compete with crypto SECs and DEXs, right? And so with that said, I'm sitting there going, well, where are they going to make their money? They're going to have to look for good blockchains, things that are going to be not necessarily a bad risk, but not necessarily a great play. And they're going to be looking for the best bang for the buck. And so that's why I'm looking at a lot of these plays here to potentially catch just that move up. And that's it. It's just to catch that move up, right? Like, let's go, right? It's all-time high here. It's sitting at 50, it's at 55 cents, but all-time high here on this is $5, right? And so I'm looking at that going like, man, that's a 10x, right? And so for me, I'm looking at that, seeing if I can take a good play here. If we see a sell-off here, we'll come back and revisit this next month. But as of right now, I'm looking at this, and I'm just kind of waiting to see. I want to see just volume just steady out at the bottom here, and then I want to see an increase of daily and weekly volume and us getting above that 8-period moving average, which is sitting right above us right now.
Well, the question is, Pedro, what's going to drive the volume in these things? You saw the volume there drop off to nothing there a couple of months ago. Hasn't recovered. The money's come out of it. How do we know, other than looking at the charts in your normal stuff, how do we know that this is just not a dead project?
So it's actually a great question. I don't know, but what I do think behind this is that as I'm looking at it, we're seeing month over month usage, even though the chart is showing volume stepping out, the month over month hash rate and usage is increasing. And so this is whether it's being absorbed by a management team or it's being absorbed even by banks or other institutions where they're putting seller pressure on it. This is one of those things that I'm looking at. So again, I don't know. We're not telling you to put a $20,000 position on this. I'm saying pay attention to it. And if we start to see pickup, and again, do you remember when the internet first came out? And I tell this to all of my friends who are 40 plus and above. I said, or even 50 and above. You used to sit there and say, who will ever use the internet for a business?
Or send money over? You're going to send money to someone on the internet? That's crazy talk, Pedro.
Or better yet, right? Who would ever have an online business? Remember how you had that friend in the late 90s, or mid 90s to late 90s? You said, oh, I have an online business. And you looked at them and you were like, you're selling things online?
Well, they'd be like, where do I put my postage meter? And where does the receptionist sit? I mean, if your business is online, what office do you go to?
Now it's just common. Like you're trying to get on the internet with the online business. You don't want a day, a 4 to 8, or excuse me, an 8 to 4, right? Yeah,
or to pay rent for an office for people to sit in.
Right. Exactly. Very nice. Lots of profit margin to score on moonbacks. That's how I look at it. I try to really risk to reward. I want at least a 10 to 1, 20 to 1, 30 to 1, and if it takes wings, we might even get 100 to 1, right, on some of these plays. So I'm always looking at it. Now, you asked a very pointed question. I think it's very important to understand this. I truly think right now, and Carmen Crypto, I want to point this out. Carmen Crypto, her organization is literally just working with small businesses to get them on the blockchain, creating a D app or NFTs, right? That which one is best to really work with them, or should they create a coin? And as things really start to progress here, we will see everything, because of the amount of money you can make, go towards Web3. And just the fact is that I can take part of my exchange, and this will sooner or later be created, where I can actually go through. This hasn't been created yet, okay? I've heard a few projects doing this, but it's still like they need to work out the nuances here. But by you simply going through and participating in faster growth as a small business in a local area, meaning you can become the hub for mining and helping other people transact, right? And in this process, if you're the primary local miner, kind of like what you see with, come on, bro. And my brain's thinking faster than my mouth. Dude, come on, bro. I know, like this is HNT. Holy moly, like HNT. HNT is a great little network. It's an IoT network that sets things up, and you can develop miners. Their miners good. I'm not saying it's not, but we're going to see an increase in this in local minership, where people will be able to participate in putting up money for people to come online to Web3. And it's something that needs to happen from a local area. And there are hundreds of thousands of businesses all in every single city, right? I mean, I don't say hundreds of thousands, but tens of thousands of businesses in all in your local city area, right? If you live in, a metropolitan of 300,000 and above, you're going to at least have 10, 20,000 businesses. And those areas are going to need the ability to be able to transact. And so I truly see this happening. And in this process, that's where we're going to see a lot of these blockchains going to be used, right? And again, there's going to be mess ups, there's going to be mistakes, there are going to be hacks. But as we progress, this is something that we're going to see, because there's money to be made here for that.
We got Utrust next. Is that one that you got up here?
Yeah.
Utrust is just has been acquired by the Elrond group, or Elrond or whatever group, and they've rebranded to X Money, but they're still on the charts under their old UTK and Utrust thing.
I don't want to do this one.
I've got them trading at like 3 cents. If it's the same one.
Yep. So this one was really interesting over the last couple of days, because you saw the sell-off. You can see here over the last few months, you can see that they've been putting in these higher lows. You can see higher low. What was it? A second. Boom. You can see here low, higher low, higher low, high, and I expect a higher high. And just like when I was talking about with Fire Chicken, right? Fire Chicken was sitting right here, and I said, it's starting to find support there, just like I said with Ethereum, starting to find support. I said, I want to see a bump in volume. Then what do I see? Nice little bump in volume come down, pull back, bump in volume, kick in, and now it's starting to get underway here. So this is one of those ones that potentially is a banger here. I'm looking at it now. It's like when we're talking, it could go. I don't think 4 cents is even a, I think we could see a higher push. Right now we're at 0.3 cents, right? Or 3 cents. This is just getting going. I don't know where price discovery could go with this one, but I do think that this level here, that we're above the 100-day period moving average. We saw the 8-period moving average starting to pick up and go here, okay? And this is important, right? We're starting to see it go. The only resistance area that I am looking for is right here. Actually, this baby right here, right there, little guy right here, right? And it's not so little guy, it's a monthly area, but it's one of those things.
Hold on a sec, Pedro. Your screen dropped off. It's just coming back here with the sound.
Oh, something's happening in the market.
When something moves in the markets, Pedro's 95 charts, so I'll get lots of data, and it jacks up the rest of his thing. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, you're watching while Pedro checks out the markets here. Thanks to the more than 100 people that have tuned into our show today. Really appreciate it. We're running over on time here a little bit, but that's all right, because Pedro and I are in the same room, baby. Woo! Oop, didn't get in on that one. Literally 2 feet from the man right here. So our schedule is ours, so we can go a little longer, hit these blockchains Pedro has been researching for a while. So thank you to everybody that's been watching us, even the people that have watched us over on USlub or USperm, I mean YouTube, whatever it is. It's just they've not been good to us crypto people lately for some reason.
Hurting our feelings. Come on, YouTube, be our friend.
Yes, be our friend, and they're derating our entire category, not our channel in particular. But Rumble, we're booming, baby. We're booming like crazy. And the audio cut out again. I don't know whose screen. I don't know if it's my screen or.
Is this dying?
No. It's your screen connection. There, see your Rumble thing. Your Rumble. Whoa, something's happening there. There, your Rumble thing just came back. So I think it's the internet connection here. Well, bear with us, ladies and gentlemen, for a minute. I can monitor the connection. And just ping Cloudflare. But needless to say, we've got time in the show today. Pedro has some additional blockchains to go over. But if you have any questions about a project other than Fire Chicken, which you can always talk about it, Ian. If you've got any questions about something, let us know.
Pure chat. That's true. It's everybody. I thought people were crazy back in 2012 getting into virtual land. I remember they were talking about it. I was like, what? It was crazy, right? And then talking about digital currency. I mean, dude, countless of people said, you need to get into Bitcoin. Like, I was a part of literally Litecoin's launch, XRP's launch. I literally helped a guy literally pick up like a ton of, he's like, what is it going to do? I go, it's going to go here. We're going to see it push up to here. We're going to see it come back down to here. I mean, at the very beginning, like literally. And I was helping a guy make money off of it. And he literally was like, bro, I should give you some of this. And again, I don't want that funny money. Now looking at it going like, Mr. Shapovalov, my bad. If you're watching it, you were right. When Bitcoin was at 100, he said, he goes, should I buy Bitcoin? And I go, why? It's funny money. Like why are you going to do it? Now I'm like, I could have bought it at $100. And at the time I had about $4,000 or $5,000 in the bank. So I could have easily bought, and that was just petty cash. You got to keep stuff. So it was like, right. How does that work? Anyways, next. So let's check about here real quick.
Pedro, you need to take a look at your chart connection. I'm not getting it anymore, but your sound's routing through me. Oh, it just came back again.
Okay, it looks like actually this is what's tripping. Oh, stop a second. Speaking. No news. What time does Trump speak today? Do we know?
I don't know. I don't know why.
U.S. President Trump speaks 8:15, 11. Yeah. Okay, we're at it right now. Then Trump is speaking right now as we speak. He just started, so that means everything's getting ready to move. All right, so let's go ahead. Enough with my antics here. All right, I'm going to finish this off because I want you guys to look at this here real quick. So, where are you at? Okay, sorry guys, I'm kind of all over the place. I'm about to, ADD's about to go away, and I'm focusing. Here we go. Boom. There we go. Short bus, unite.
Well, you trust must have had something going for it if someone else wanted to buy it. If a blockchain was just a dead or ghost chain or zombie chain, whatever they call them, nobody would be interested in buying it. But apparently somebody was interested in buying it. Elrond or whatever group bought it and rebranded it X Money. And here they go. So maybe that will give them the staying power, because someone is interested in investing in them.
Yes. Well, I'm looking at it. We're seeing a sell-off of it here, but what I'm looking at is the buyers stepping in. We're seeing it get above the 8 and 20 on the weekly. On the monthly, we're watching it already starting to pick above, and we're above the candle in control, which is here. So if this thing closes here and we see it go, it should easily bust through that 3 cent area, 3.7, 3.4, and get to these all-time highs here. And so this is kind of what I'm expecting this to do here. As long as it keeps going what it is. I mean, the truth is, and we can even be short of volume here, but if we're above those moving averages, it's going to trigger any type of institution that is remotely paying attention to this to buy, because they know, all right, it's above the moving averages, we're starting to see a trend up. So I would expect to see next month, if we see it get above this, really kind of pick up here. So again, this is on the watch list. We're paying attention to it, and it's one of those ones I want to bring to you guys and to say, hey, pay attention already. Next, we got, no, that's it, right? Yeah, no, we have looks.
Yep. Looks rare. An NFT marketplace running on Ethereum and layer 2 with notable transaction volume and active traders. All right, well, we'll see about that.
You can see here that this area right here came down to this area of demand here on the weekly chart here. What's interesting is you can see here last week, we saw the sell-off. People were trying to short it here. But look, man, it held. Like, look, boom, came in. You saw the increase in volume on Sunday, and now it's picking up. I'm not seeing a lot of demand wicks per se down in these lower levels. But if you look at that weekly chart, I actually see one right here. So one of those ones I'm looking at for the NFT aspect. You don't know. OpenSea lost wings, but they might come back, or maybe not. Who knows? But if NFTs come back, I think we're definitely going to see an increase of a lot of movement here within the NFTs. And I don't think NFTs are dead. I know some people do.
El Dedo.
But again, like I said, if it has money in it and it has favorites and people can like it, it's going to be something. Just like meme coins, right? Like people said meme coins were dead. They're not. They're not, because they create community. And anything that can create community is one of those ones that will always be around. May not have a ton of volume at the time, but they'll always be around. There will always be a community around buying baseball cards or Pokemons or Beanie Babies or tulips, right? So, and I use it as, and I'm pointing out it may be a bubble, but if we keep printing money, bubbles will keep bubbling, and they will always have higher highs and higher lows. I'm just saying. So thus I look at these as that type of movement. As we keep printing, people are going to run in for, they think, safe places. And there's guys like me that are like, yeah, I'm gonna dump on you.
Thanks for the exit liquidity. Have a nice day.
But this is what the banks, I've talked about how the banks will always want meme coins, because you, as a natural built-in community. So I don't need to even pay news people, right? I can come in there and pump up myself. Pay a guy, $20 an hour, $30 an hour. Like, he's got 15 alts, right, on Telegram or on YouTube or whatever, right, talking about this. And all of a sudden, you see a big movement, then they're able to sell off. So again, this is just one of those things that when I look at NFTs, it may be a bubble, but it still has a utility to it. And it's still in its infancy stage, still in the nascent stage. So this is where it's smart to be paying attention and having your ears to the ground, listening for the train coming so you can get on it, right? So the
crypto train is coming, baby. Actually, the crypto train is busting through the front door of Wall Street. That's what it's doing. It's like the express train, the 2 train in New York and Manhattan.
Yeah.
It's coming.
It's coming. Well, I just think about like Kool-Aid Man. Oh yeah. So you can see here that last month we closed pretty strong here with a pretty good amount of demand here. Excuse me, not last month, last week. And we saw a decent amount of volume, a little bit more than usual on the weekly. So right now what I'm looking for looks is that I want to see it come down and retest this area here. If it doesn't, then I'm going to be looking for the breakout, which I very rarely do, but I'll be looking for the breakout right here. And the key is, I think we're going to come down.
Can you center that?
Area. Yes. I can see is coming down, tapping this area here. But if we don't, and we see like, the reason why I say that is look at the amount of volume coming in from, I think it was Monday or Sunday.
Yep.
And then you can see here, again, more volume coming in, and it's surpassing the seller volume. So that's why I'm sitting there going, we'll see. What is, your chat says, crypto train is like the back to the futures train. Blast off the tracks into the future. There you go.
Exactly.
There we go. Here we go. One of the things that, like I said, I want to see it come back down. But if it doesn't, I want to catch the breakout, right? And then potentially it pull back. So I'll sell off a little bit up here and then buy back more here or potentially here. So we'll see what happens as we move forward. But this is some of the areas that I'm looking at. And then when it comes down to resistance, we've got this primary area for looks right here for resistance. So if the crew is listening, look at this area right here. And around this area where price is sitting at 02 to 035, come and plan a advertising push. Get your community to really come in and push hard on Twitter, because you are going to see some sellers step in there. So this would be a great time to really plan for some advertising initiatives to really get things up and running there. So that's about it in a nutshell for today for blockchains. We went over some old ones, but we have a lot of new ones here that I want to bring to you guys, and so we can check out and keep them on the radars. Might probably go over some of the other stuff tomorrow. That was some of the old stuff. I'm gonna be bringing up also some new meme coins again tomorrow, and then we'll have fun. So come check us out. Enjoy the show. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the show.
It was a great show. It's the first time we've done it in the room together here. We have let's do it this way.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
It's the first time we've done it in the room together, ladies and gentlemen. And but anyway, Pedro, a lot of good information about blockchains. A lot of them I've never even heard of, but all had followed a similar pattern. Kind of a launch, a big boom, everything is great. Oh, we need a little money. They probably insiders sold off to help fund the organization, and then kind of a bottoming out and a slight turnaround. And many of those could be moons. And I wish we just had like an automatic basket, like just to buy all 10 of them, and see which ones did well. But anyway, thanks for the comments for everybody. Yeah. Thanks to all the viewers. Like I said, we had over 100 people tune in for today's show, and usually that means the replays double or triple it. So this will be another great episode. It's going to be the only thing Pedro and I do in the same room together for a while. Hopefully we'll be doing Blockchain Futurist Convention, Rumble, and BFC. You guys listen. We need to put a group together and a team together for that.
We'd love to represent.
But it's been nice being here in Connecticut, where I did spend the years up until I was in the 6th grade, or I left in the 7th grade here. And this one, and it left in the 7th grade, and I forgot. You people in Connecticut have no business designing roads. Just no, it's just like a bunch of drunk Irishmen or something that came over. We came over, left their homeland. Let's get drunk and make some roads. Yeah. Oh my word! It's just I forgot. Admittingly, I live in Chicago. Where everything's a grid. There's not even any roads with curves on them. You don't even need steering wheels in your car. You can just go straight. But anyway, it's been a good time here with Pedro. We hope everyone joins us tomorrow for our show. I'm actually needing another guest host for tomorrow. I tried to get Chris and Justin again. They're like, you didn't ask me in time. I got stuff to do. But we'll work on it. Otherwise, we'll have another show from the car. And wherever it is I end up. Let's get some last minute comments here. Pure Chad gives us I can't even see that dude.
Yeah, it gives us the baby, like the old man baby. He's like, yes.
Oh.
Like, I love that, dude. It's good. It's good.
All right, I'm gonna cue up the music because we need to go out with some music here.
All right, guys, thank you so much for coming in. Please do us a quick favor. Like I said, log in, ask a question about any of these other ones that I was talking about. If you want us to check out another type of genre of coins, whether it's gambling coins or whether it is different types of blockchains, or if it's just simple like what's really the new utility coming out. And everybody knows it's real world assets. If you want us to really pay more attention to real world asset world, we'd love to go over that. I've been paying attention to a lot of those as well. Also POW, I think is going to come back. Proof of work. I think there's a lot of stuff, a lot of need that will be needed for it, right? Not just the blockchains that proof of work, but because of the hashing and a lot of the money that is created from it being needed to come.
Pure Chats, it's success, baby. Good show, guys. It was a great show. Thank you, everybody. As usual, my name is Tom, otherwise known as Striking, here in the digital media universe. The man in the box next to me and sitting in front of me right here, ladies and gentlemen, none other than Pedro Garcia, crypto chart analyst, otherwise known as Pedro Damas. Have a great day. We will see you tomorrow, so be there. Hold on, yeah.
Hoping someone sees me choking, pulling the cover up over my eyes, starting nothing to restore my sight. But an emotion can't keep it inside. Freaking the beat, believe it's my mind. Wondering how other words in my head will be coming right back to the start of the beat. People been leaving their evil open, hoping that God will see them free. Learn to sail your inner ocean, hearts swollen, souls frozen. Potion got me open. I can feel the bad omen, lost in this moment.